Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In previous class we discussed about origin of Ottoman Empire. Today we are going to discuss about first ruler of Ottoman Empire. His name is Osman the First, and also in coming slides we will discuss about his legends. And I used the word legends because the word legend means a traditional story, sometimes popularly regarded as history, but it is not authenticated. So, the coming slides we will discuss some stories about Usman, but it is not recorded in a historical text in his time. But we got the history or story or legends of Usman after 100 years of Usman's death. So, some historians have some confusion about the authenticity of these stories or history. That's why I used the word legends. I think you got what I meant. So, we are going to next slides and we are going to discuss the legends we got from about Usman from the books which was recorded or written after 100 years of Usman's death. About Usman and his story, we are going to show you some maps. In previous class, we discussed about the world before coming of Ottoman Empire. So here I am going to show you a map before coming of Ottoman Empire. So in this map you can see orange colored places which includes Arabia and some of its surroundings which came under the rule of Islam in the time of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And the rose colored places which includes Egypt, Libya, Syria, Iraq, Azerbaijan, Iran. These places came under the control of Islam in the time of four Khulafa Rashidin. And the places which is colored in green, which includes Morocco, Spain, China, Russia and India, some parts of India, came under the control of Islam or under the rule of Islam in the time of Umayyad dynasty. I think you already studied that Umayyad dynasty spread Islam into Spain and also into India and some parts of China. And after Umayyad dynasty, there came Abbasid dynasty. They also ruled all these colored places except the Spain, which were under the control of Umayyad dynasty even after coming of Abbasid Khilafat. That also you have learned in previous class. And also in this map you can see a blue colored place which is Byzantine Empire. So before Islam spread all over the world, Byzantine Empire ruled most of these parts. So these are major two kingdoms before coming of Ottoman Empire. And also from this map you can understand how fast Islam spread or Islam conquered many territories all over the world. And also you can understand when Islam conquered many places or many territories, Byzantine Empire lost most of its territories and it was going to collapse or damage as Islam was going to spread all over the world. And in next slide we will show you the map of Mongolia who came to conquer many parts of this Islamic world. Here you can see a map of Mongol Empire. Mongol Empire is an empire who came before Ottoman Empire and they ruled a wide area. In this map you can see they ruled from eastern China into Poland which is in Europe, and also They ruled some places which were under Islamic rule like Iran and Iraq. So they conquered many places as they could, and they got some important rulers like Genghis Khan, Kublai Khan and Hulagu Khan. And I think you know about Hulagu Khan, who was the one who destroyed Baghdad, the capital of Abbasid Khilafat. Now we can go to the map of Ottoman Empire in next slide. In this slide, you can see the map of expansion of Ottomans. As you can see in this map, there is a small dark grey color which was their beginning. The land which is owned by the father of Osman, Erthugal, and after Erthugal, his son Osman and his son Orhan conquered some more place which is colored in orange. And after Orhan, his son Murad and their grandsons, they conquered some more place which is shown in a yellow color. And after that, Muhammad al-Fatih came and he conquered some important place like Constantinople, the capital of Byzantine Empire, which is known as Istanbul then, which is colored the places which is conquered by Muhammad al-Fatih is shown as in a blue color. And after Muhammad al-Fatih, Salim first came and he conquered some other important places which is shown in a green color like Egypt, Algeria and some part of Saudi Arabia including Mecca and Medina. And after Salim, Suleiman the Magnificent came and he conquered some more places which is shown in a kind of brown color. He conquered some parts in Europe and some parts of Iraq and Iran and some parts in Africa. And after that, the new rulers who came from Ottoman Empire added some more places. Those places are shown in a dark green color. So these colored territories are the places which is ruled by Ottoman Empire in their ruling time. And in coming slides, we are going to discuss about history of Osman the First and his contributions. Here we are going to discuss about Osman, the first ruler of Ottoman Empire. As I told you earlier, there is not enough documents about Osman, the first ruler of Ottoman Empire, because wasn't any historical records or any historical documents about Osman from his lifetime. But the histories and stories about Osman, the first ruler of Ottoman Empire, came after 100 years after Osman's death. So we are not sure these stories or this history which came after 100 years after Osman's death is true or not. That's why we use the word story or legend whenever we say the history of Osman the First. As we told earlier, there are some stories about their beginning. We are not sure if those stories are true or not. We will discuss those stories in coming slides in detail. But we are sure that Usman was the first ruler of Ottoman Empire, and also we know that the father of Usman was Erthugal, and he was from a Turkish tribe known as Kai tribe, and we got the name of father of Usman from a coin which is considered created or minted in the time of Usman. In that coin There was a sentence which we can read as minted by Osman, son of Erthugal. From this coin we got the name of father of Ottoman. That is what we got as a historical record about Usman and his father. Now there wasn't any other historical records or documents from the time of Usman that. In this slide, we are going to discuss some stories or three important stories about Usman and his father. The first story is Ertugrul, father of Usman, was a chief of a Turkish tribe. So, in his lifetime, there was a battle between Mongols and Sultanate of Rome. Sultanate of Rome has another name which is Seljuks. So in this battle, Seljuks or Sultanate of Rome was losing. But in spite of this, Ertugrul and his tribe supported the losing side or the losing side of Seljuks. And fortunately, in that war, Seljuks won with the help of Ertugrul and his tribe. So after the war, Sultan of Seljuks rewarded Ertugrul a land which is called as Sogut. So this is the starting point of Ottoman Empire. The first territory they owned is Sogut. This is the first story about Ertugrul, and this is a story we don't know is it true or not, but most historians describe this story about beginning of Ottoman Empire. And there is another story. In that story, Ertugrul is not from a Turkish tribe, but he is from Prophet's tribe. I mean, he was from Qurayshi. So they were migrated from Hijaz. I think you know where Hijaz is. Hijaz is a place which includes both Mecca and Medina. And there is another story. This story is most popular. This story is a dream. This is a story about a dream of Usman. So the story is Usman was spending a night in the house of a Sufi sheikh. His name is Adabali, and before Usman going to sleep, he recited the whole Quran, and after reciting the whole Quran, he slept, and in his sleep, he saw a dream. In that dream, a moon rose from the chest of Sufi Sheikh Adabali and descended or came down that moon into chest of Usman, and from that place rose a tree, and the shadow of the tree covered all over the world. And then Usman woke up from his sleep, and he shared his dream with the Sufi Sheikh Adabali, and Adabali interpreted or told Usman the secret behind the dream, and he told him that you are going to be a ruler, and you are going to be a founder of a great empire, and that empire will rule or conquer all over the world. And after interpreting the dream, the Sufi Sheikh Hanabali married his daughter to Usman. And this story came in the historical records in 1400s, which is after 100 years after death of Usman. That's why we are not sure is this story is true or not. Ottoman historians picked 1300 Common Era as an official starting date of Ottoman Empire. But nothing special has happened in that year. There wasn't any famous battle or any other issues. Then Why Ottoman historians picked that day as a starting date? There was a reason, because 1300 corresponds to 700 of Islamic calendar. It means both Islamic calendar and English calendar or Gregorian calendar was turning into a new century in that year. So both these calendars turning into a new century never happened before or after. So it was a great year, because two calendars turning into a new century same time. That's why they picked that day as a official date. Now we can discuss in detail about Osman. So as we told you earlier, Osman's father owned a place which is called as Sogut. So Osman inherited that family land from his father Erthugal after death of his father, and that happened approximately in 1280 or 81. And there are some stories that there were a rivalry or enmity between Osman and his uncle, and when their enmity grew for the ownership of the land Sogut, Osman killed or murdered his uncle and he owned Sogut after his father's death. So, actual first entrance of Osman or Ottoman Empire in historical records was in 1300, not 1 or not 2, because of a battle which is known as Battle of Bafus. In that battle, the army under Osman defeated Byzantine Empire and he conquered a place called Bafus. And after that battle, Osman conquered many other border areas of Byzantine Empire. So gradually, Ottoman Empire was growing by defeating territories of Byzantine Empire. And Usman's last battle or campaign was against Bursa, which is also was under the control of Byzantine Empire. And Usman didn't participate personally or physically in that battle. He was the ruler, but he sent his son Orhan to conquer Bursa and to battle for Bursa, because Osman was sick and he was in his deathbed, so he didn't participate in battle. And Orhan fought in that war and won the battle, and later this place or Bursa became the capital of Ottoman Empire when Orhan became the new ruler of Ottoman Empire after his father Osman's death. So some historians describe that Osman died just after he heard about his son's victory in the Battle of Bursa. And that happened, the death of Osman and also the victory in the Battle of Bursa both happened approximately in 1324 or 25 or 26. And Osman's body first buried in Sagut, the first place owned by Ottoman Empire. Later, his son Orhan transferred his body from Sagut to Bursa, the new capital of Ottoman Empire. That is all we have to discuss about Osman. And in coming class, we will discuss about Osman's son or Han. So, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.